Oh dear. Anyway, here we are. Lovely to see you. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Lynn. um, so I'm on my however many days is necessary of doing evening videos because we have roofers on. And I'm not joking. I can imagine, because I've never been there, but what it would be like if you were stuck in a tin can and someone was firing bullets at it, because literally it has been horrendous all day. They did finish at around about 3:45. So I spoke to the guy this morning, and he said that they hope to usually finish around 3:30, 3:45. So hopefully, that's what will happen through the week, and I can possibly bring these forward a little bit. But Thursday and Friday are going to be awkward days, but we will sort something out. Getting closer to it, we will sort it all out. So, and plus, I suppose it doesn't help. Hi, Cherie, how are you? I suppose it doesn't help that I was, the silly one that got up at 3:15 this morning and watched the lunar eclipse. But then that's my thing. That's the sort of things I like to do. So, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So I was so pleased that I stayed up. And my friend who lives 5 minutes away from here, Sue, she was also out watching. So um, we were chatting while we were watching the moon at ridiculous o'clock this morning. So my husband got up, had a look, said, that looks all right. And then he went back to bed. Oh dear, my animals all thought I'd gone crazy. Anyway, so that was last night. So probably an early bed tonight, she says, tongue in cheek, because it never happens. Now, I've got it's a card, but it's not really a card. So hi Sue, how are you? Oh, thanks, Sheila. Yeah, I mean, I only took them with the phone. And the phone, like it was like chasing them all over the screen because you're trying to hold your hand still and you've blown it up so much. It was really hard. But I was glad I got a couple there, so that made me happy. Alrighty, so what I'm doing tonight is I'm just using one sheet of designer series paper. You would have liked to have seen it too. It was amazing. I mean, I usually get up for those sorts of things. Excuse me, I need to. I this is my other friend Rose. See what she buys these. And it says on the back, we'll be friends until we're old and senile, and then we'll be new best friends. I love my cups. All right, so what I'm going to make tonight is from one sheet of DSP. Hi, Tanya, how are you? And yeah, so let's go down to the desk. There we go. And look at that. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. And that's what we all need to do. We all tend to forget to do that. We all tend to forget to make this very moment the important one. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut some of the inside pieces. And I'll cut. I wanted something bright, so I've decided to use the sunflowers, and I just have to make sure. So I'm going to cut it on this side because when I fold it, I want the sunflowers to go onto the inside. So using a 12 by 12, we're working in centimeters. So using a 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter, I hate to burst any bubbles, but most pieces of 12 by 12 are actually 30.5 centimeters. So we need to first off make it into a 30 by 30 so that we can actually make these measurements work. So all I'm going to do is just go along here, put it onto the 30, and make sure it's on. There it slid, see? Goodness me. Put it onto the 30 and literally you're only going to take off a smidgen, but it makes all the difference. And you're going to have to do that this way as well. So we're making it the 30 by 30 that everybody believes their pieces are. Okay, so now we have the right size. Excuse me, oh my goodness. So like I said, I'm going to do my scoring on and everything on this side because when I start to fold it, I want the yellow to come in. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do is score across this way at 10 centimeters. So I'm going to score there and 20 centimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it just once that way, and I'm going to do this one at 9 centimeters. And 22.5 centimeters. All right, so we'll turn it back that way because that is what I want to do. Okay, so now we're going to cut some pieces out. So with this one, where am I? Maybe I should go that way. Oops, get out of the way. Let me see. No, we'll do it that way. All right, so with this area up here, we're going to cut that out all together. Okay, oops. So I'm just going to put this at 20 centimeters because that's what it was at. I'm going to take the cutter down to there. And then this one, I'm going to take it to that score line, and I'm going to cut along to there, and we can take that piece out. All right, so that's our first little piece that we take out. Then on this side here, we're going to remove just 2 centimeters. So going down to the first score line, we're going to remove 2 centimeters. And to be honest, it's just as easy to take the scissors and do this on that one. So that's that. Now this, let me have a look what I've done here. Yeah. So this corner here, we're going to make a cross. Let's do this one first because this one we are just going to cut up here. So let me once again put that in there at the 10 centimeter mark And I'm just going to cut it down that one, just to there. Okay, now I'm going to pop this away. So we now have this piece, this one's missing, and that one's missing. So now we're going to take the ruler, because with this one here, we're going to cut it at a diagonal across there. And it's easier to draw it and then cut it with a pair of scissors. So I've just drawn a pencil line across there. Oh dear. I did get a brayer and I haven't used it yet, I have to say. I loved my old one, and I'm just going to trim just up to that corner. Okay, so now this is our 12 by 12 and this is what we've got. So this is going to fold back like this. This one's going to fold back up here. This one's going to fold up here. And this one that I didn't cut across the bottom, let's do it with the scissors. And that one is going to fold across there. So eventually you can see that our card will fold down and up. So let me see. Make sure I've got it all in the right place. All done properly. This is one that I did earlier, so I can see that I've got it all. Well, that's weird. I've got different sizes this time. I must have cut it on a different angle. So that one is going to go up. That one's going to come that way. That one's going to come that way. And that one's going to come that way. And then that one will fold down. That one will fold up. This one will fold across. And then that one will fold across there. And that is basically what it's going to... Hi, Suzanne. How are you? You know how it dropped you out of YouTube today? A couple of weeks ago, I had one drop me out of my Colour Me Crazy Facebook. So I think it must have a hissy fit every so often. So that's what we're doing. Okay, now what we also have is some, but before I go on to that, what we do need to do when we're doing folding like this, we actually need to take just a smidgen, and it really is a smidgen, off of each of these, each side, to make it easier when we fold it. Like I said, it's tiny, tiny bit that we need to take off. It just gives us that little bit there, which now this one we just need to do the same. Tiny, tiny. That's one, and then again off this side. And again off of these. You can see it's a very, very small amount that I'm taking off. And possibly that one. I'm not too worried about this side, but I'll do it. All right, so tiny smidgings off of those, and that'll help us when we fold it. Okay, Now, these pieces here are going to sit. We've got a large piece that's going to sit in here, and that's going to basically firm up. Oh, no. You can't get the sound up, Mum. You're on Facebook. You're not on YouTube. Okay, so that's that. And then we put, I think it's that one's going to go that side. That one's going to go that side. That's how it works. And then one of these is, that one is going to go in, no, that one is going to go in there. And that one is going to go in there. So these ones are all going to stay loose. It's just going to be this one here that gets stuck down. So what I want to do is just do an impression. I don't really want, and I'm not going to put color on it because our color will come from the other side of the DSP. So I'm just going to pop this. I love this one. And well, because we're using yellow, let's go with, I think we should really go with Daffodil Delight and keep in with it. Or, yeah, let's do that. If I don't like it, I'll change it. Now this is just, we're just going to need that like up in the corner. So what this actually is it's going to be like a little mini album. So if you really wanted to, you could stick, you could put photos in these, or you could put little messages in them, or anything that you really like. You could just pop into those. Okay. So I've done that, and now I just want to, with each of these, not that one, I'll put something on the rest of those in a minute. All right. I think what I might do is fold it up first, and then we'll do the decorating. So that one is going to fold up. That one is coming across. That one's going that way, and that one is going that way. So I'm going to use tape to do that. So we need something that's strong, and we need to put it right on the very edges. So everyone's saying hello, Mum. I don't know if she's managed to find her way onto YouTube. So we're going to put that there and that there, and I'm going to keep it as close to the edge as I can because we need the space in the middle. Just let me get. Can't find anything after the weekend. And these are they're not very sharp at all. Okay, so we'll just take this off of here. Tell you what, we'll put all the tape on and then take it all off. That's probably easier. So then I'm going to put tape on here. And then tape on here. Trying to keep it as close to the edge as possible. And then we're putting tape on here. And on here. Personally, I would love to see one of these sent to someone who was going through maybe a little bit of a hard time, and put some inspirational cards in it for them. Use some inspirational stamps. Right. So our double-sided tape we can get through Stampin' Up. Tear and tape. I spent so many years calling it double-sided tape. Now, if everyone can see what I'm doing here, I hope so. Taking all of these off. It's very different doing this at night. You're in bed watching it on the TV. Good night, Sheila. Sweet dreams. Alrighty, so we are going to, let's stick that one up there like that. We're going to stick this one, and I'm just making sure that I've got them relatively even across the bottom. That one that way, and that one that way, and then this one this way. So now you can see we've got little pockets. Oh, you fool, Lorrae. So I put that one on the wrong side. It was supposed to go there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit that with because we're not going to see it. Take all the sticky off with the powder pad. And now we'll put it on the right way. I just wanted to make sure all the sticky was off because we're going to put something into there. All right. My hand knew what it was doing. Just the paper didn't. So, and now we have another little one here. So this is where we'll see that this is going to fit in the middle. That's going to give it a bit of stability. And then now which one? That one will fit in there. So this is little tags. You can make what you want out of your little tags. That one going to fit in there. Yep. Should do. But it's not going to. Maybe it was that one goes in there. And that one goes in there like that. All right, so that is what we'll have. We're just going to put some little decorations at the top of each of those. And then we will do our folding, and then we'll make a belly band. You did have a bit of a weird day today too, Suzanne, didn't you? I must admit, I'm not going to be very late to bed tonight. I don't have anything to blame other than the fact that I was up at silly o'clock this morning. I did go back to bed, of course. But by the time I went back to bed, it was like 4 o'clock. And then I read. Because I'm not one to be able to get straight into bed and go straight to sleep. So now we did have some, what do I do with those little bits that we had left? There they are. So what we can do is we can cut some little tags to go onto these if we want to. We could use I was thinking maybe we could just use circles and cut some little circles, half circles. So let's try that. Let's pop a cup. I know what's wrong in here. I'm missing one of the lights. So I could cut just a small piece out of here like this. Let's see if this is going to work before I spend ages doing it and then find it's not going to. So let's put a bit of that there. So we've just got like a little half circle that we could just pop onto there. So we can just glue that just to brighten it up a little bit. You now have the kitchen working at last, next the dining room. Well, where I took everything out of here, it all ended up just outside the door. And I've been going through today. I did manage to get some looked at. I used to play that, Tanya, years ago, but I remember that. Now I'm thinking maybe this one, maybe do something a little bit bigger because we've got a larger piece of paper. So let's do this one. I'm just going to do circles, but you can imagine you could do all sorts of different shapes if you wanted to. I'll just knock all that. Yeah, so going through all this stuff today, and I came across my box that had, oh goodness knows how many card bases. You just pop that on there like that. Card bases and envelopes in a plethora of colors. And I've got shaped cards, all different shapes. I've got a box full of what do you call them? We'll get there eventually. I've got a box full of rubber stamps on blocks. Now, some of those I absolutely love the wording. It was back in the day when there was, you know, the really pretty ones that I suppose before stamping came into its own so much, we used to, oh, well, no, it was stamping, wasn't it? We used to stamp them and colour them. Now, these don't have to be equal by any standard. It's just a little bit of decoration to stop it looking plain. You could do them like tags and sort of do the whole one and then not put, I'll do the whole one on the bottom one and I'll show you what I mean. That one's going to sit in there. Let me do the whole. Oh, I can do the whole flower out of that. Yeah, so I've now got, I mean, I've reduced the amount of boxes, but I still have boxes in the lounge, which is really quite frustrating. Okay, so let's do this one a little bit different. We'll do this one. And look at that. I got the whole thing. That's rather cute. So what I'm going to do is fold that over in half. Use a bone folder, Lorrae. Like that. And then I could just, it's going in there like that. So what I could do is just stick that on there. You could put it either side, or you could lift it off a tiny bit so that it became more of a tag. If I got my hand out of the way, you'd be able to see what I'm talking about. So you could do it like that so that you've lifted it a tiny bit. So I'll just do it like that. Just so that, let's see. And I'm thinking maybe anyone really that's got tags would work. Like that. So we've now got that sort of sitting up above, and we can pull on that to take it out. So lots of different things you can do with that inside bit. So I don't think we need much more decoration on there. All right. So like I said, you know, if you've got little photos, you could pop them on there. I've got tiny, let me see. I've got tiny little ones that I get from the school, you know, and so something like that would sit on there if I wanted to put those on there. So you could put smaller ones. You can put your greeting or write a message in here. You can still have room to put decent sized photos, or you can write little messages. I would love the idea of just writing for someone who's probably feeling down or something like that, inspirational messages. Oh, that was lovely. A lot of mine, Cherie, are, I was looking at them. This is actually one of my favorites, but I don't know if you can see. It's like in between the wording here. It's sort of like, I don't know, like it's sort of cracked. I've got to test it and see if it's working. I believe there is a way to get them off, isn't there? I did look at it because literally I have a huge box full. All right, so let's have a look at how we're going to go with this. We're going to turn this one up, and we're going to turn this one down, and these two are going to go into the middle. Okay. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And hopefully they all, that's never going to go right. You're always going to have that little bit there because you've got such an amount in there. So probably one of those lines. So that is when they open it, that is what they're going to have. Yeah, I think that's yeah, that would work. I mean, some of them are just lovely sayings and different, which is what I like. So there we go with that. Now, obviously, what we're going to do now is we're going to make a belly band. And I don't actually know. I don't think I have any more of that colour. So what I might do, I've got a piece of that out. Let's put that back. What I might do, because I've got the green sitting there, and I actually have this piece here, and I believe that's duckling, I'm not sure, but I'm going to make a belly band. Okay. I know, that's what that other piece was for. All right. So the belly band needs to be 4 centimeters by 27. So 4 centimeters. I actually saw a lady do it. She does Evasions Creatives. So she's French. And she did a very pretty one. And I thought I'll give that a bit of a go, because I like to do some different things. And it reminded me of the one sheet card that I made ages ago, which also had pockets. So I think this will go with this quite well. We can pop it around, and it overlaps quite considerably at the back, which is, or the front, whichever way you want it. So we're going to do that. And now I just want to have a piece of white, because I'm going to cut an archway. I'm not, says she who never wanted this set. Never wanted it. Couldn't think why I would possibly want arches. Okay, Suzanne, not a problem. You sleep well. So I'll grab a piece of white. It's a bit complicated for me as well at the moment, I think. Let's have. So let me see. I'm going to have a bit of white now. I'm going to emboss this, but I'm going to cut it out first, because if I emboss it and then cut it out, the embossing gets flattened. So we've got this, which we're going to pop on the front there. Oh, goodness me. Tomorrow night's card's quite an easy one. I've already decided. That's going to go on there now. Embossing folder. Well, really, is there any doubt that I should use? So I'm going to use the sunflowers. And this is a 3D. Oh, before I do that, do I know where my specialty? Oh, I do know. Just let me see if I know where my specialty plate is before because I've moved stuff around. Now I thought I had put that somewhere where I could lay my hands on it. And clearly I haven't. I don't know. No, we're not going to. It would be ideal to use the sunflowers, admittedly, but right at this moment. Oh, there it is. Found it. Stop looking. So we can use it. And I think I'll put it right there. So just the number 1 and the number 4 plates. All we need for this. Oh, crash bang wallop. And we'll just run that through. It's definitely one of those days today. Look at that. How pretty is that? I can put that back in there. All right, so we've now got, let me stick this. So I know where it's going to go now. Hi, Nicole. You won't buy that embossing folder. Why is that? Why, Cherie? Why do you not want to buy that? It's such a beautiful embossing folder. I'm just going to this is the belly band. I'm just sticking it down and letting it get dry. All right, so we're going to actually decorate this. What am I going to decorate it with? So we've got that. And what die cuts have we got that go with that? Let's have a little look. Ooh, so we have some greenery. Lorrae loves greenery. That looks like a little flower one. Ah, that's right. This one has that little flower. Oh, this one has lots. So I'm just going to have a bit of a play. Someone remind me to put all these away before I lose them. Okay. And it looks like I wasn't very good last time. All right, green, green, white. This one looks like it needs to have a bit of pinky purple. And actually, I'm going to do these in white, and then I'm going to just put a little bit of color on them. So I'll just pop these. I should get these out from all around these ones that I want white. Cut thing out from around where I cut that. So I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing with all my ribbon. So hubby was in here just before. And he's going to make me a rod that I can put the ribbon on. And I'm not really a ribbony person, but I seem to have accumulated a fair stack of ribbon. I think it's because I tend to buy sweets. And so you always get like the ribbon with it. I think that's what the problem is. But yeah, I have a considerable amount of ribbon. All right, so that's those. I think you might need it. What do you think? There's always stuff I don't need, like white ink and ink pads. I didn't need those. As you can see. Blame Miss Linda for that one. All right, let's have my scraps of green. That one's actually embossed. I won't use that. What have we got? And of course that would be the green that I wanted to use. Yeah, so that one. And maybe a bit of the lighter one. Do you know, I mean, they've done the roof, and I'm sure they haven't tacked everything down up there. I'm sure that there's still some. I'm just hoping that it doesn't rain and we don't get a gale of wind, because I really don't want to find out what they've actually done. I mean, they're nice enough guys, and it's not their fault. They have a job to do, so, you know, in all fairness, their music is disgusting, and I told them. So I think you really need to play a bit of Queen or, you know, something like that. But I don't think they were overly impressed with that idea. And then I'll just do 2 out of this green as well. I mean, why somebody wouldn't be impressed about Queen, I don't know. But it was all doof, 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 doof. No tune to it at all. Okay. All right, so I've got a bit of greenery. I've got a bit of floral. So this is basically just the playing part, isn't it? All I'm going to do with these is just take out that's the right way. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of colour on them. So let's go with, let's go Timid Tiger just to, shall we go pumpkin pie? Go Timid Tiger. And all I want to do with these is, actually I don't want them all to be Timid Tiger. I just want to put a bit of colour just on the tops. Nothing too dramatic. Maybe that one I'll do with the yellow. There's another brush there. I'm pretty sure this flower here lends itself to being purple and not yellow, but hey, we've got a yellow one. Right, now all I need to do is just put all this together. Clean that off first. And then we're just going to plonk some of this on here. There, Cherie, I've covered the flower up. That one. Through the back. Sort of like that. A couple more pieces down here maybe. Maybe that's too much. Anyway, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm going to start off by sticking this piece down. I think a lot of people actually did get to see the moon this time. So let's pop a bit of that just there. And this one I might just put onto a couple of mini dimensionals. Or should I use glue dots? I can fit some minis on there. I was determined I was going to get up and watch it. Wind one up there a bit. Let's cut it. Let's cut that one. And pop it up there. And then I can stick those flowers in underneath. Let's pop that up. And now I'm going to stick that one in there like that. Oh, and the other thing I saw the other day, which I thought was rather clever. So I've always used, I can't remember who I was watching, but I've always used this, right? A bit of, and whoever it was said get one of these. So this is just your silicone basting brush. And what she said was you put that on, my mat needs cleaning, but you put some glue on there. You cut this off so that it's fairly short and even. Don't look at mine, not even. And then you just put that on and you can dot it over there like that. And it doesn't get sticky and horrible like the like the sponge does. It stays, and then cleaning it is really easy. And this is just putting little dots onto there. Get off there. Let me see, maybe in there. I can't remember where I had them now. I actually quite liked them the way I had them the first time. Okay, let's just pop it in there like that. And I'll put a little glue dot under there. And then this one, I'm just going to pop it up there. Of course, you do have to make sure that you don't put this where you've already. Now I'm just going to put that one up through the middle there. And we're going to have a couple of those down the bottom like that. So I'm going to stick them together. And then do a bit of a trim. I can't find my little scissors that I had on Saturday. I know they're here. I know they're here somewhere. Just a question of finding them. They'll be in my box. Just going to put a couple of little ones of those, and I'm just going to stick that on the top like that. It'll look better before I stuck it down. I might cut that off a bit there. A little bit of doctoring here. No, come off. Don't like you. Right. So that's what we have. This is just for decorating the belly band, which I have here. And then across the bottom there, I'm going to put a nice sentiment. So let me find a nice. Oh, I got these today. They came, not that. They came today with the papers and the die cuts. I've actually been waiting for this set. I should have ordered it straight away, and I didn't. So what do I want on there? I think because we're going with more of a, well, I was hoping to go more, you make a difference. Where's that one? That one. Go more with a, you know, like helping someone who's not feeling the best, giving them that little bit of a little bit of confidence or a little bit of a boost, I think we'll stick with something like that. Let me have a small piece of white. And I think I'll stamp that in basic grey. Nope, we didn't get an E. Well, not a proper E. That's better. And I will use hopefully this middle size one here. Oh no, it doesn't. Which set has a long one? Butterflies. Pretty sure that had a long. No? I think it did, but I think I put it somewhere else. How about textured notes? There we go. That'll work. Interesting to see if I can throw anything else on the floor. Might have to stick this down. It's not my night tonight. Okay. You make a difference. Everybody makes a difference in their own way. How cute. That's actually going to go further than that, but that's fine. Having it off at the ends, something a little bit different. So let me put that one back in there before I lose it. Those can go back up here. Right. Let's put this bit together. I might put that up like that, and then that's across there. That's what I'll do. So let me get that relatively equal both sides. The indentation on this is just I love all the trees too. And yeah, anything to do with trees. Anything to do with trees catches my eye. All right. coming to the end, I'm just going to pop one will possibly do it on either end. Let me check. Yep. And then I'll pop some glue in the middle just to make sure. And as everybody who knows me knows, I'm not a bow person, so I don't mind a bit of twine or something occasionally. I don't mind a bit of ribbon occasionally. It's just that I'm not so I'm actually placing the wording and not the strip, if that makes sense. And then what I'll do, I'll just come in here and get rid of that. No, I won't, because it's stuck down. Okay, that is our belly band for our card. Okay, thanks, Cherie. Alrighty, bit of mucking around, but we got there in the end. So, actually, I quite like that. It's turned out better than I thought. So we've got that lovely belly band, which will be it depends on the mouse's breeding and whether they will be tempted or not. Okay, the beautiful texture underneath there with the flowers. The underneath goes with the sort of like sunflowers on that one, and then when we open it, we have our, well, if we opened it the right way, we have our card with our little areas that we can write messages. We can stamp these areas if we wanted to. So many things we could do. We could color that if we wanted. Little tags to pull in and out. You could probably, I don't have anything here at the moment, I don't think. Let me see. Don't carry cards in this. No, I haven't got a card. I don't know. But I mean, you could put something like that in or up in there if you really wanted to. I'm sure that would fit in there or in either of those. So a gift card possibly. Yeah, so many ideas. And we will close under. Just a thought. You know, that actually fits better that way. It actually fits better if you put that one in and then that one. How about that? It's just that when it comes out, it's opening the wrong way to me. Makes no difference, does it? Alrighty, so there's our card for tonight. I am going to love you all and leave you. And yes, lots of room for treasures. You could put all sorts of bits in there. Thanks, everyone. The new tag set. Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose it would, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. Now, I know that when I press the end stream button, it goes off very, very quickly. So I'm just going to come back up to the top just to say good night to everybody. I hope everyone's had a really good day. Have a great night, and I will see you all again tomorrow, possibly again around about the same time. You're very welcome, Nicole. You could jiggle the vertical measurements. Yeah, you could. You could change the measurements yourself if you. That's what's going to happen tomorrow night, because I'm doing a card that I've seen the card, but I don't have the measurements for. So I'm just going to play with it and hopefully it'll work. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you again tomorrow. So good night, sleep tight.